In 2012, Superstorm Sandy devastated the northeastern coast of the United States, causing damages and losses in the tens of billions of dollars. The Jersey Shore was the hardest hit area, where winds and surf damaged and destroyed hundreds of thousands of homes, the majority of those uninsured. Thousands of people are still without homes, where rebuilding efforts continue 3 years and 3 winters beyond the storm. The St. Bernard Project was founded in 2006 in response to Hurricane Katrina, and since then has grown as a nationally recognized leader in disaster recovery. As part of its Hurricane Sandy recovery efforts, they are working to repair and rebuild homes on the Jersey Shore. The St. Bernard Project on the Jersey Shore serves low to moderate income residents with a special focus on families with small children, the elderly, disabled persons, war veterans, and under and uninsured persons.
It's crazy to think how many people are still displaced from Hurricane Sandy, how many families are not back in their homes. I was born in this area of Monmouth County. That was one of the hardest hit areas during Hurricane Sandy. I learned about this organization, about St. Bernard Project and AmeriCorps when I moved back to New Jersey about 10 months ago, and they were looking for individuals to help out in the community. Now it's 2+ years, which is pretty crazy to think about, and people are still out of their houses. There's just a dire need for help in this area, and I was willing to add my energy and passion to help people who need any help they can get to start their lives back over again. It's been a beautiful run with St. Bernard Project and AmeriCorps, and they taught me a lot, and hopefully I've helped as many people out as I can and continue to do so for the rest of my term. I love meeting people from all different walks of life, and with volunteering you hear stories and you meet people from a million different backgrounds. It's a great way to learn about a world bigger than your own. You'd be surprised how great it feels after a day of work here with this organization and seeing firsthand what you've done, what you've accomplished just in one day. It's humbling in the best way possible, I think. And don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Some people are scared of volunteering, even with a lack of construction experience with our organization in general. Don't be scared. I didn't know much beforehand going in, but if I can do it, you can do it.
I started with St. Bernard Project in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And we now have built about, oh gosh, it's hard to even count anymore. I was there when we broke 500 homes. We started this up in New Jersey in March of last year. And so far we've rebuilt 8 homes. We're just starting out, but there's still thousands to go. St. Bernard Project is driven by volunteers. We couldn't do the rebuilding work without them. We've got AmeriCorps members who volunteer with us for 10 months at a time, and they're the backbone of our work. But you know, we only have about 12 of them. And they all supervise volunteers who come in from across the country and honestly across the globe to help us rebuild. The work that happens every day on our sites just wouldn't happen without our volunteers. It turns out that people just want to cause a lot of impact, and St. Bernard Project has been the group that they come to when they want to get a lot done. Right now we're accommodating up to 50 volunteers a day, and we need more volunteers constantly. Volunteering at St. Bernard Project is super easy to get involved. You don't need any special skills other than an eagerness to learn and a willingness to get a little dirty, and that's all. So we've got the tools you need, we have the teaching that you need to learn how to hang a piece of sheetrock, and we're ready to get volunteers going.
I am a 2-year already AmeriCorps alumni, and I signed up with FEMA Corps, which is with the National Corporation for Community Service and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and we're volunteering here today for the St. Bernard Project for Sandy Recovery. To be a team leader is mean you supervise 10 to 12 individuals across the United States that you travel with to different disaster relief projects. They are very good here at the St. Bernard Project at helping you. This morning I knew nothing about drywalling, and now I'm working with one of my core members to put up panels to finish out this bathroom downstairs. I've got about 10 years of volunteer work, and it's all about helping the community. When the community prospers, the people prosper all around. So just being beneficial to my fellow mankind is it's fulfilling enough for me.
I'm actually a second-year AmeriCorps member. AmeriCorps is a national volunteer program. Last year I served in the Traditional Corps, which assists nonprofits. One of my sponsors was St. Bernard Project, so I spent 6 to 7 weeks with them, and I had a great time. This was one of the houses I worked on last year. Back when I was here, all the furniture was still in the house. It had actually just happened right after the couple had received all the funding that they needed to start working on the house, so we were just beginning the move-out process. There's actually a hallway downstairs that I actually demoed myself. It was good to be back there, and I was just telling the other members of my team exactly what had happened right there, and there's just this kind of great memory of the very beginnings of this project and now seeing it again at this point where all the drywall's up and it's starting to get to the point where it really looks like a concrete house. There never really is a point where it's too late to volunteer. When I was here last year, I was at the very beginning of this house, and even just moving the furniture into the moving vans was a huge help for this couple. But there was another house that we also worked on that was at its finishing points as well, and there's just, through the whole process, there's a need always.
I'm actually a part of FEMA Corps, which is a national service program. It's like 10 months long. We're on teams of 10 to 12 people, and 18 to 24-year-olds, and we travel the country going wherever FEMA needs us to go. Today I am mudding for this house that was just torn apart by Hurricane Sandy. There was a tree fell in the roof, and then there's water came in and mold everywhere, and then the family had to leave because it got condemned, and while they were gone, thieves came in and stole everything that they had, so they couldn't afford to fix it, so they thought they were going to have to leave it. And then the St. Bernard Project came in and I guess helped them put their house back together, and we're here volunteering with drywall and kind of helping them get everything back together so that the family can move back in and have their house back. Knowing that back home I have a house and I have a family, and this family, if it weren't for us, they couldn't have their house. They couldn't have the place where they raised their kids back. It feels so great being able to give them that back.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, St. Bernard to be more specific. I'm up here to help out our New Jersey affiliate for a little bit while we're in the middle of some departmental structural changes. And so today I'm here to just kind of volunteer. I'm acting more as a volunteer today, to just kind of work with the team and get a little more hands-on than I've been able to do as a manager. I like working with my hands. I like getting dirty. I think I'm going to enjoy doing mudding, and so I'm looking forward to doing that today. In New Orleans, there's still a lot of work to be done. There are neighborhoods right outside my neighborhood that I live in that are still completely desolate. There are still blocks and blocks of empty lots with grass as tall as I am, dumpsters blocking the roads, streets that are so riddled with potholes you can't drive down them. And so there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of people that aren't home that still need help, that still need volunteer help to come down. And there's still a lot of work like that to be done in this area too. And they're both beautiful communities. The people are, I think it's the people more than anything else that I've really come to find are the most similar. I thought growing up in New Orleans, growing up in the Deep South all my life, I thought of people in the north, you know, maybe they were be brisk and talk fast, but that hasn't been the case at all. Everybody's been extremely welcoming. Everybody's been very receptive, and they're really caring people, and they need help.
I joined FEMA Corps in February. I started getting involved in volunteering last summer through Habitat for Humanity, and ever since then I've just been addicted to helping people, I guess. The first time it's always nervous. You are going and you're doing something that you probably haven't done before, but once you get into it, you won't stop, because it's a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, when you get to see the people that you helped, it's totally worth it.
I'm actually with the AmeriCorps FEMA Corps. So we're based out of Denver, and then we're right now stationed in Colts Neck, New Jersey. I'm doing butting. I'm doing seams and screw holes. So. They teach us what to do right on the spot, so they just kind of show us what to do, make sure we know how to do it, and then we just go with it. It's great being part of like the bigger picture and knowing that you're helping finish this house so then they can come back and live in it.
Roland Stover was living in New York City when Hurricane Sandy flooded his apartment. He found new housing in New Jersey and now gives back by helping others rebuild. Who knows better than he the work that needs to be done and the impact the volunteer efforts have on storm survivors?
I had lived in Manhattan, in Lower Manhattan actually, on Water Street, and during Sandy, my apartment building was flooded. And oddly enough, I wound up renting down here for the summer and just never moved. And I wanted to give back to the community and try to help Sandy victims, because I myself was one. Not in Seabright, but New York City. It's devastating. You realize how important friends and family are when you have no place to live. My car was destroyed, a lot of my possessions were gone. So being able to have people who can help out is great. And then doing something like this and helping people 2 years after the storm who still are not back is amazing. The really tough thing is how shocking it is when you don't have a phone service, no internet, no lights, no food, and you're reliant on other people for that to come back on, and you don't know when that's going to happen. And it's a very difficult thing. You never know when it can happen to you. And being able to help someone else out who it happened to, who may not be as fortunate as someone else, you have to do it. And especially when you live in a community that is prone to floods and flooding, I think it's a very good thing to do. Please come help us on the Jersey Shore. Still ravaged by the effects of Sandy. There's many houses that still are without occupants who have not been back to their homes in over 2 years. The more help we can get, the better for the community and for the country.
Come out, give your time, give your energy, give enthusiasm, and help people who desperately need it. You know, this place is crying for help, and anything you can do to be a part of it, do it and come with us. We're a great organization. We'd love to have you.
So come volunteer on the Jersey Shore. We need your help.
Please come out to the Jersey Shore and help with disaster relief, or apply to one of the many organizations that are willing to help.
Come out and volunteer.
Come out to the Jersey Shore. We need you.
Come volunteer at the Jersey Shore.
Come help the Jersey Shore. It's a great experience. Once you start, you will never stop, and you help people in the process. So please come out and volunteer.
I suggest all of you guys come out to the Jersey Shore and really help us out with this project.
There is still lots of work to do on the Jersey Shore, and as you can see, the work is both fulfilling and appreciated. Please consider coming to the Jersey Shore and helping people get back into their homes and regaining their lives.